I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're with us live on NewX. A Muslim cleric is amongst 3 people arrested in connection with the killing of a man who allegedly posted a video clip on Facebook which police said hurt religious sentiments of some people from the minority community in Dhanduka in Ahmedabad district. Police said Maulana Jawarwala provided a pistol and cartridges to Chopra and Pathan, who shot dead Kishan Bharwad in Dhanduka on the 25th of January. Bharwad has been arrested following a complaint over his Facebook post earlier this month and was out on bail. Amongst the various sacrilege attempts that has taken place in the past 2 months, Gujarat has come as a shocker. Will this continue? What is the government doing? Can minority sentiments hurt over a Facebook post cause such drastic incidents? Well, remember, Gujarat elections also are coming up later this year. Joining us at this point is Snehal Joshi, leader of the BJP from Gujarat. Mehraj Haider, social activist, is live with us. Anuj Agarwal, cybersecurity expert, is also live with us. B.L. Vora, former IPS officer, joins us live as well. Anuj Agarwal, come in here, because obviously what's also causing it is social media. Social media is furthering the hate. Social media is what is causing these incidents to spiral out of control. In this particular incident, it was a Facebook post and page which started the tension in the first place.
Yeah, Facebook and other social media platforms are really good for the democracy, where people, without spending much of the cost, can reach out to masses with their views. Now, that is the positive part of it. But obviously, every good thing, misused by certain elements, and for that, the law is there. But the law is not being enforced with the intensity it should be, so that these platforms also should be very, very cautious that any such hate content, or earlier Honorable Supreme Court has also asked these platforms to, take away and take down a lot of, XXX kind of material which is floating around on these platforms. And all these platforms had been taken refuge under Section 79 of the IT Act, saying that we are intermediaries and we are not liable. I am going to say that yes, somebody who would have posted a derogatory remark or something like this, they are liable under the respective law. But these platforms, since they are making money and they should be behaving responsibly, because they have such a wide reach, you cannot simply say that, no, look, your role is very limited. You can make money from this country in millions and zillions, but you have no social or political responsibility towards this country. So the people who are misusing their platform, these platforms should be very, very cautious. And in fact, these platforms are encouraging people to put these kind of materials so that more and more forwards, likes, and more people are joining their platforms, and they are not cooperating with the law enforcement to the extent they should be in quickly identifying the people who are the perpetrators, so that the anger grows. There had been certain rules made by the government, by which the government asked that please help us to identify who initiated a particular post. For example, on the WhatsApp or on the Facebook, it is comparatively easier, but on WhatsApp, it's very, very difficult. But none of them so far has complied with this regulation. So the law enforcement agencies, the government agencies are not able to quickly figure out who is the culprit. And this is causing a lot of social resentment, which is sometimes leading to these kind of extreme scenarios. You see, our country is in the of some kind of an extremist ideological people, and they always look forward to such kind of incidents where people are getting angry and they are taking advantage. For example, in this particular case, the police has arrested one Maulana who has instigated, and not only instigated, he has provided some ammunition to these young people to commit this kind of a heinous crime of killing the person. So just understand, it is not only their fault that they killed the person. It is the complete ecosystem who is looking forward to destabilize our country and taking advantage of these kind of simple, frivolous posts on the social media. So I think social media platforms should also be made responsible they should be criminally charged if we want to maintain the freedom of expression as per the constitution. Otherwise, very soon we will see the people asking to reduce and limit freedom of expression, which will be very bad for all of us.
Is there further need of strengthening the cybersecurity laws? What needs to be done according to you? Or is proper implementation the need of the hour?
Law has to be strengthened and its implementation has to be strengthened. Number one, we must ensure that all those platforms who are operating in this country as they call themselves social media. As I mentioned, it is a good way that people can put their views across to a very large section of people. You see, hitherto, when there was no social media, the people's voice was never heard. It was very much restricted to certain channels and certain newspapers. Now people have got an opportunity to connect to each and every person, including the administration as well as even the Prime Minister. So that way, these platforms are doing a fantastic job and they are helping us to implement our constitution and freedom of expression. So that way, we should not simply say that the platforms are bad. They are good actually for the democracy. But since they are continuously being misused, although it may not be proper to say that they have some kind of a inclination to harbor these criminals, but whatever it is, if I am owning a place where there are criminal elements coming regularly, I have a responsibility to ensure that they are identified, weeded out, and they are handed over to the law enforcement authorities in time. I simply cannot say, look, I have got absolutely no role in this entire process. I am just getting paid for the rooms I am giving to the people. Now, whatever they are doing, legal, illegal, it is none of my business. It is up to the law enforcement authorities. No, this should be very clearly understood by everyone, including the social media platforms, that everybody has got a responsibility to ensure that the criminal activities are reduced, contained, well in time, and there is law, but this law cannot be enforced so far because of the various court interventions unnecessarily at times, and because these companies are mostly operating from the US and other jurisdictions where Indian legal authorities are not able to enforce. I will simply say it is total the fault of the government that they are not able to put their writ. Look, in the Nigeria, they banned Twitter for a few months, and finally they agreed to all the terms put forward by the government, and then only government allowed them to continue working. So similarly, we should be firm with these. Even Singapore is very firm with these social media platforms. So I'm not saying stop freedom of expression, but at least stop freedom of hatred. Stop freedom of fanatism. Stop this ecosystem of criminals working. They should not be allowed, these platforms, to harbor there and plan their activities. There are narcotics platforms. There are indecent platforms. There are women who are day in, day out in the name of so-called freedom of expression. They are being misused. So I think it is very, very important, and it is the responsibility of ultimately the government to frame the rules, regulations, and implement them so that these activities come to a halt. These criminals have in the past also incited various riots in this country using these platforms. So I think it's enough. It's enough. We cannot keep waiting all that. Whenever there is a new incident happens, we discuss on the TV and then we take a silence, waiting for something next. No. We should take action.
Okay, action is needed is what you're saying. Okay, let's leave it at that. My thanks to all of our guests for joining us.